Hi guys, welcome back. This is now issue 109 of Build the Back to the Future DeLorean. So in this issue it looks like we're going to be working more on the rear of the vehicle, behind the bulkhead I think. So yeah, without further ado, let's crack on. There's not that many parts in here, so I shouldn't imagine it taking too long, but we'll see. You know how these things get involved, you know, when you start. You think they were small and then they're actually quite involved, but I think it will be quite a quick issue. So yeah, let's go down. Okay, so we're going to check off the parts as per normal, and then we'll start building. So I'm just going to grab my screw pot so I'm a bit more organised. Okay. Ooh. And I'm going to take all the parts out. Now I can see already there are some small parts in here, so we need to be really careful when we tip these out. And there's also something heavy in here. Ah, that's what it is. There's a big metal part in here weighing the bag down. I'm just going to leave the bag to the side for the moment. Okay, so the heavy part comes first, which is 109A. Okay, and it's marked up as the time field generator, and it's this part here, and this is made of metal. And it's got some sort of rubber on it. That's really nice actually. Seems quality. Okay, so that is the time field generator. Also, here it is. I thought I'd lost it there. This sort of black grill here, and that's got two pegs on the underside there. Okay, we've got 109C, again another part of the time field generator, and that's this silver part here, and it's got three pegs on the bottom. And then we've got this part here, which is 109D, and that is plastic as well. I noticed there's one sort of locating lug, I believe, in that corner there. It's not a pin, it's sort of just a, I don't know, a weird sort of shape there on that corner, so that tells me that will be directional. Okay, we've also got a long cable, which is this fixed pipe here, and we've seen these before. It is flexible, but it's rigid, so you don't want to force that too much because it will snap. We've got a shorter one of those, okay, which has got a different bend in it. We've also got a long set of wires with the grey plugs on, and they look to be the same both ends. On the camera one looks thicker than the other actually, but they are both the same. We've also got a short set of wires. We've got some wire tie, which is the stuff we use to twist up to hold wires together. We've got some AP screws, and we've got some MM screws as well. So I'm going to pop those in the tray, and then we're ready for the get-go. Okay, so yeah, it looks like we've got all the parts, which is great. First thing it wants us to do is interesting is to take this long wire and the short wire and twist them. These are already twisted from factory, so I don't need to do step one. Okay. Okay, so we need to take the black wires, and it wants us to grip these two cables together. So I shall do that now, and it's starting from the side with the plastic clip. And it wants us to do that in two places. So, just on this flat edge here, just past this bend. Okay, I'm just going to trim that off. And then it wants us to do another one. Just up here somewhere. I'll show you this in a moment. Something like that. So you've got one minute. So you've got one here where the silver part is near there, and then we've got another one just here. Okay, and then we're going to do exactly the same with the shorter cable. So again, I'm going to put one just here where the straight bit starts. And they do give you plenty of this cable, this wire. Okay, so that's one done. And then just another one. Nearer the ends, not right at the ends, but just somewhere near. And there we go. That is all that is required. There you go, you can see that better now. That's all the way up to step 6. And then it says push the connector 109F into the junction box with the end of 109H and secure with AP screws. Okay, so 109 is obviously the longer ones, so we're going to be dealing with the longer ones first. I'm just going to move them out of the way, adjust the focus. Then I'll grab the DeLorean. Oh, it's heavy, isn't it? Okay, so we just adjust the camera so you can see. I'm hoping you can see this okay. The light is a little bit darker over here, so we're going to be screwing into these grey boxes just up here. So we're going to take the longer cable actually 1 minute, 109F and H. Sorry, my bad. We're going to be working with the smaller one first. Okay. The black pipe will go in the second hole in. You can see there's 4 holes in the base there. That is going to go in the second hole, and then the coloured cable here is going to go in the 4th hole. So you've got 1 hole, 2 for this black part, and then leave a gap, and then the last hole will be for the multicoloured part. So that fits in relatively nicely. Okay, and on this silver bit you've got a locating pin one side. Sorry, my hand is in the way. You've got a locating pin this side, and that fits nicely. And then we're going to put an AP screw into that hole. So there we go, that is that one done. I'm then going to put the coloured cable in with a pair of tweezers. Like so. And I'm just going to move the cable tie around the back. Okay. And then what we're going to do is obviously plug the other end of this coloured connector into this hole just there. Now for me, that is a really loose fit, really loose, and I'm not happy with that. So I'm actually going to add some glue to that. So I'm just going to grab some glue. I'm actually going to use a bit of offcut of the black wire we had. I'm just going to dunk it in the glue because we don't want to apply too much, and put it round and plug that in. That should dry in its own time. Okay, next step, I'm guessing, yeah, is we're going to do the same with the longer piece now. So in the same way, we're just going to fit it in. The black pipe is going to fit in the larger of those 2 holes, which is actually the 3rd one in now, next to the black pipe on the right hand side of it. Okay, then obviously that will fit in to this other box here. I'm so sorry, my hand keeps getting in the way. So with that done, I'm going to secure this in with an AP screw. and then push that down into the hole. Like so. And then obviously the other remaining coloured wire will go in the first hole. And I think you're definitely going to need tweezers for this, because otherwise it's going to be a little bit tight. Okay, so again I've got the same problem here. Both of those connectors are now really loose. So I'm going to apply some glue to both sides. Okay, sorry about that little cut. If you noticed, my dinner arrived, so yeah, I've just had my dinner. Okay, so where we left off was, yeah, obviously I've had to glue this in, and I have glued this one in as well. They are now in. I may be able to get them out if I really need to later on, but I shouldn't. I don't need to, because if I've got anything wrong with it, I can't. I'm not going to strip it back at this stage. So yeah, that's all that done. So now we're on to step 8. No, sorry, 9. 9A. We're going to take part 109A and push part 109B into the 2 holes shown. So I can actually move the camera now so you can have a little look. So it's this part here we want. So as I say, it's made of metal and it's got like a rubber outside there. And what we're going to do is to take 109B, which is this black piece of plastic, and we're going to place that in the 2 holes and I'm just having a look. Two holes on the end. Now one looks square and one looks round. So I'm just going to try this both ways. Yeah, that will only go in one way, I think. I don't actually think it wants to go in either way. I mean, the picture shows 2 round holes. Sorry, I'm off camera. See, that hole looks square to me, but in the magazine it's showing it as a round hole. So I'm actually going to just get my little blade and just sweep round in there, just in case it's paint. No, it's definitely a square hole. But I've got 2 round pegs. Okay, well it's gone in one way, so I'm happy with that. And it doesn't go all the way in. Let me just have a look at the right, okay, yeah, looking at the next page. Sorry, the focus is really out. You see it hasn't gone all the way in. That looks to be normal. Because if you look at the magazine, you can see that it seems to be sticking out. Okay, so that is that part in place. Okay, we're now going to push fit 109A around 109C. Right, so we want the silver part, and then on this end we're going to push that silver part onto those 3 holes. Now the holes are, one hole is not central, this one here, which is normal, and that's just so we can get this in the correct way. Okay, so it fits in that way. But it doesn't want to fit in that way, so this will only fit one way. Brilliant. So that's pushed in there, and that's what that looks like. So that's pretty straightforward. So as I say, that will only go in one way. There we go. Nice bit of detail on there. Okay. The next thing we want to do is use 2 screws to secure this bracket onto here. Okay, so on here you've got a locating hole, which is that 3rd hole, which is just there at the top. That obviously is going to correspond with that locating peg on this metal piece, so that will only go in one way. Okay, so we're going to pop that on there, line it up. I need to get the screwdriver at the ready, and some screws. And I need to change my head. I'm using a J0 for this. I'm going to use... No, I'm not. I was going to say I was going to use a little bit of oil to help that in, but I'm going to see how it goes. So, right, we're just going to line those holes up and then put the screws in there. So that is one in, halfway. I'm going to put the other one in to stop it coming out and spinning round all over the place. So I'm just going to line the other side up. Okay, and then I can secure that down. So I haven't gone too tight because obviously we're going into metal through the plastic. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Okay, the next step is to attach this to the top of the vehicle. So I'm going to come in. You've got a hole there, and you've got a hole there. And that is going to fit in. Okay, like so. Now, what I had to do, I'll do that again, it doesn't just seem, mine doesn't seem to just fit in. You see there's a little gap. So if I push that side in, it doesn't want to go down. So what I'm actually doing is putting this side in first, pulling it back, whilst pushing some pressure downwards. Like that. And then that sort of snaps into place for me. Okay. And then we're going to use the AP screws. Bring you up. We use the AP screws to secure that in from the top. So that is one in, and I've just got enough for it to stop. Okay, and that is secured on there nicely. Okay, and that completes this issue 109. Okay, so that was it for issue 109. Wasn't too bad, bit fiddly. Again, slightly disappointed with the quality of the parts. That seems to be it seems to be an ongoing thing throughout the whole build. Um, One thing after another. I mean, the wires that we plugged in, the connectors weren't wide enough, or the holes were too big, so they were loose, so I had to glue those. It's just it's little things like that throughout the whole build. You know, I'm gluing things that I shouldn't need to be gluing, and for me that just means poor quality. So yeah, if I had my time again, I'm sorry to say that I wouldn't build this. Um, but you know, I'm not going to be put off by other part works. It is what it is. I've come this far. You know, I am enjoying the build. Don't get me wrong. It's just a shame the quality is not quite as I would have expected for a model of this size and cost, really. But anyway, enough blabber. So thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. Um, and if you wish to buy me a coffee, there is a link in the description below. And yeah.